Alright, so we're going to look at the cards first.
Okay.
All of our movements are up in the top. They're done by colored sticks, very similar to some other games that have recently come out. So your first one is your movement range. So as an example, for here it's yellow. All of our figures on the table are using yellow for movement. The second range is our charge range. You can only use charge range if it brings you into melee contact with the opposing figure. Otherwise you can't do it. So pre-measuring is allowed, so you'll know if you're able to do it or not.
Cool.
So our humans all have a red charge range for this particular experience, and all of our super mutants have a green, just so that we know. Each weapon is an independent item, so it's separate, so that it is possible for when you're playing later in the game, like later in your life of playing the Fallout Miniatures game, that you can put a Soul Survivor with a board and a bolt-action pipe rifle. So it's very important that these cards are independent of what's happening on your actual characters, so that no matter who has the bolt-action pipe rifle, this will still be the stats for that pipe rifle. How your character uses is what changes.
Cool.
So in our game, our super mutants have a board and a bolt-action pipe rifle. Our Soul Survivor in power armor, as represented by this card, has a combat shotgun. Our Night Patrol has a laser rifle. And our Super Mutant Master, who today is just going to be a normal Super Mutant, because the Master model didn't actually show up in time for us to bring it to the event. You can tell the difference. He'll have a can on the back of his card. His only weapon for today is a huge club. Okay? So since we talked about the power armor card, how they work in the game is they add an endurance value to your character, they add strength to your character, and they have a specific armor save that's different from everybody else. So when your character has a power armor on, you use the armor value of the armor itself, so you ignore this red box while he's wearing the armor. Once this takes 4 damage, you break the power armor, it flips over, the benefits it gives you decrease, the strength still remains the same because you're still wearing the servo suit just like in the video game. Alright? So it starts out unbroken. We'll look at the weapons real quick. So each weapon has its 2 ranges. You have your short range. So in this case of the combat shotgun, it's red. And you have your long range, which is blue. Unlike movement where it's one or the other, shooting is added together.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So your short range is the first one, your long range is both of them together.
Cool.
So with the dice rolling mechanic, everybody has your skill die, and then whatever underneath the weapon that you're using, so in this case for short range on the combat shotgun, it's 2 additional black dice rolled together. If you're shooting it at long range, you get no bonuses for being at your long range. So just as an example, we're going to roll this just so you can see it. Of course. So we have a 3. The shield, your armor gets decreased by 1 on the target, and the starburst does 1 additional damage. So the Soul Survivor, shooting the shotgun, it uses the rifle stat. You find it on your special chart. If you have a rifle, you go to the perception. You need to roll this number or under. All right. So if we rolled a 3, it would successfully hit. Had we rolled a 10, that would be a failure. To show how the minuses work, if you rolled an 8 but got 2 negative 1s on your die, would bring it down to a 6, causing it to be a success.
Perfect.
All right?
Cool. All right.
When you make a successful attack in melee or in close combat, you can start building up your crit meter. Once you've gained 4 of them with successful attacks, you can force a successful attack into a crit. Okay? If you roll a natural crit on the die, it automatically goes over. All right? Your health is decided by the heart symbol on your card. Not every card uses their endurance as their life stat. The Soul Survivor, for example, his agility is his life stat.
Okay.
So he can take 7 damage before he is done. Super Mutants can take 6. Super Mutant Master can take 9. I believe that's all the stuff, so we can go ahead and start playing. So to decide who's going first in our demo game, we're using a 50-50 randomizer.
Okay. I'm familiar with that randomizer.
All right. You can flip. I've heard you're an expert flipper. You can call it in the air.
All right. Tails. Oh, all right.
I told you he's an expert.
You are expert.
So you rolled. You flipped the heads.
All right.
Okay.
By choice, clearly.
Yep.
You can go ahead and pick who you want to activate first. Activations happen one figure at a time. Then you take your one figure. Each figure can make two actions. Your actions can be to move, to shoot, to charge, to make a melee attack. In the campaigns, you can do things like searching Nuka-Cola machines, activating computers, so on and so forth. You can do your activations in any order and as many times up to 2 as you want. All right?
And do the super mutants act together or separate?
Each model acts individually.
Okay.
When you activate your character, what happens is you're going to put a ready marker on it.
Okay.
Then you activate him. You can choose to say, I'm going to prepare with him. He gets a ready marker. You are then done. You pass to your opponent. You get to go. Then when it comes back around to his turn, he says, I'm going to ready him and activate him. You then get to do all the activations with anybody with a ready marker.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So
okay,
you can
cool.
stack. You can stack people moving together. The only downside is he still gets to activate.
Yeah.
So if you ready him and he moves 2 characters in and kills him, he hasn't activated and the ready marker's
You
gone.
wasted a turn essentially, right?
What that does is when we're playing bigger games, it allows you to essentially form units into squads and do combined action or combined movements.
That's cool. All right.
So I'm going to check the range on this. Can I reach the full charge from here? With the green as well?
Yep.
So you stack them up for that charge, right?
No. You don't. You only stack with shooting.
Shooting. Right.
Okay.
So you don't
Moving
have
is
charge yet.
individual.
Oh, so charge
So-
it would be separate? So
Correct.
it's just green? So
But
that's not...
you do 2 actions, so
Oh,
you
okay.
can then move. You can move and then declare a charge action.
Okay. But if
Now-
I charge, I don't get to attack?
Correct. You don't get the attack is not assigned to the charge
So
action.
if I charge with this guy, would I be in range? Just barely?
You would.
Yeah, you
So
can
I'll
base
go with that.
And remember, when we're moving in this game, it is front of base to back of base
Oh,
is your
okay.
maximum. So even with our charge ranges,
Yeah.
if it brings you into base contact over, it's not the green stick you're looking at, it's actually
Gotcha.
the base.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, you've got it.
So yeah, I'll be charging with this guy over here.
All right.
So
you
it should
just-
be
you're good.
good enough range. So I'll charge right
From
melee.
base to base.
All right?
And I'm going to hit you with a board.
You are. So you have your skill die.
Okay.
Your board gets 1 black die.
Okay.
Charging gives you a bonus.
Okay.
Anybody with a strength 8 or higher in our game gets a bonus black die. So this is what you're rolling for your melee attack
Cool.
onto your Knight Patrolman.
All right. And he has 2 armor or 1 armor?
So you're looking at yours
Oh, okay.
melee stat. Find the melee stat on his special chart.
The dagger?
Yep.
Okay. So.
You need to roll that number or under.
Ooh. That's
So you
critical, right?
critted.
Nice.
These 2 are blank, so they don't do anything. This gives you 1 bonus damage.
Okay.
So you move from the normal side to the crit side,
Okay.
which gives you a yellow.
Awesome.
So you instantly roll another yellow die.
Okay.
That's a shield break. So what happens is your armor is reduced by 1. The board is doing physical damage, so you find the physical damage stat on yours, which is the shield.
The shield. Okay. Yep.
So that's
two.
reduced by 1.
So down to
So it's down to 1. His crit is doing 3 damage.
So crit is normally 2 plus the 1.
Yep,
Or-
crit moves over to here, so it's
So
2
2
damage.
for the crit and then plus
The
1.
starburst gives you plus 1.
Gotcha.
So then you use the red die for your armor. So how this works is this is your target number. So anything under is a success, and the number that you roll is how many you save by. Now it's important to note that these look like D12s, but they're not. The numbers actually only go up to 4, with
Okay.
1s being the most common, 2s being a little less common, 3s being a little less common, and 4s being the absolute least common number on the die. So it is more likely that you will roll the lower numbers, so you get a better chance of saving as opposed to
So is
being
he
a
aiming-
natural
sorry.
D12.
So is he aiming for the 1 or the 2?
He's aiming for the 1
So
because
need
you
a
have
1.
lowered that number.
Right, okay. So you get a 1, he blocks?
He blocks 1
Oh.
if you.
Roll the 4.
So you rolled a 4, so you blocked absolutely none. Let's pretend for a moment you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
So you would block 1 of the damage.
Oh, okay.
So if with your power armor your target's a 3 and you rolled a 3, you would block all 3 damage.
Oh, okay.
If you rolled a 1 with it, you would still only block 1.
And
Okay.
if you roll 2, it'd be
Yep.
2. Nice. Cool.
So you're gonna
So you just
block
have opportunities to block more damage the higher your
So the
armor
number
is.
It's like a target number, and the closer you get to the number, the better in this case.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
So you didn't block any.
You didn't block
Nope.
any.
Ah.
So you're taking the 2 from it being a crit, and the +1 from the die roll.
Cool.
All right. And so he has a total of 5 endurance.
Correct.
5 health.
So
Okay.
still
Yep.
alive. Cool.
So that's
it's
your
my turn.
your charge
Oh,
one
yeah.
activation.
Put the marker
And-
on him or whatever.
It goes away once you've done
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, that's for readying.
Yeah.
Right, so we just remember. Oh, it's just
Yeah.
alternating activation, so there's no like rounds where everything resets.
So I
like,
can just keep activating that guy over and over.
A round is once everybody on the table's moved.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it is. So I can't activate him again until these guys.
Everybody else. Yep.
Gotcha.
So this dude's my soul survivor. He's in. I mean, I'm probably going to use my shotgun. If I have 2 actions, I can attack twice. Right?
Correct.
And he's within close range because he just charged
Correct.
in. Because this is my combat shotgun to be read to him, so he's got it. So I'm not even going to move him. I'll just attack with. Looks like the gun is a 7. I'm hoping
Correct.
for. So I use my skill die.
Yep.
And then what am I adding to this? I'm adding 2 black.
Yep.
And then what is this? This is the.
That's the damage.
That's the type of damage.
The type of
So it's
damage.
2 damage. If I land, it's physical damage, right?
Oh man.
So
Man.
a crit and another
Double
hit.
crit.
All right.
So we
So we're
slide
gonna
that
open
up.
this open, or slide it open to the crit side.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be a crit plus 1 additional damage. This is going to give you an additional purple die.
Right.
So you got a Nuka-Cola emblem. It's doing 4 damage. So what these emblems do, so you have the Nuka bottles, you have stars, and you have these explosions. These are essentially activators for weapon type abilities and other abilities in your game. So like you can spend those to activate these abilities down here. So had you rolled this one, where it's a Nuka bottle and a star, you could use the injure arm special rule.
Okay.
So then the character you're targeting would have his arm injured. And from it's not in the demo rules, but from what I've been told, this specific rule is more unique to one of the game types that carries all this stuff from game to game.
Oh,
So
cool.
when you're
All
playing like a campaign style system.
So the single bottle doesn't do anything in this
Yep,
case?
because it doesn't activate. Whereas if like this one, if you were to shoot with this and get a single bottle, you could use it to one damage.
Oh, I see. Because there's the extra 1 there. I got
Correct.
it. I got it. Okay.
Cool.
All right, so you crit. So it's going to 4.
Ouch. +1.
Plus 1 is going to 5.
So you gotta
And
roll.
your guy has an armor of
1.
1.
So you have
And
a
you
pretty
didn't-
good chance of blocking 1, but
Yep.
that's all you can block. Got
Yep.
it.
No.
So you still failed. So you're going to take all 5 of those.
Ouch. And I have 6. So
Yep.
he's got 1
Damn.
of one. So,
What else would you like him to do? Because he only
Oh, he's
shot
got another
once.
action.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I can blast that guy again. I
you
should just
can
finish
shoot him
off.
one more time. Yeah.
Yeah, why not, right? So let's roll again. I mean, getting rid of one of your models can't hurt. Is that cocked?
Yep.
Is that
What was it?
it was laying between the 2 here. I'll just
All right.
reroll.
Reroll
Bam.
it.
All right.
2.
So you rolled a 2.
I'm hoping for under a 7.
Yep.
7 or under or under
7 or under,
Okay.
equal to or under. So we have, so you've successfully hit. This is an armor break, so your armor value is lowered by 1 for this attack. And then
2 damage.
we're not going to crit, so we're just on the normal side. You're just doing the 2 damage.
And I'm 0 armor.
Do you even
so-
get to roll?
Nope.
Nope, because you have nothing.
Yeah,
so you're
well,
dead.
yeah, he can't possibly do anything.
That
so-
one is.
So he's a
deployed.
goner.
You
Yep.
can remove him.
Put him up
from
here in the. Hang him
Yeah.
out.
He's taking a relaxation.
All right, so that's one of my guys activated. Back to you.
All right. So I think.
So from what I've seen in demo games, our super mutants in this particular game succeed best when they team up.
Yeah, I was thinking.
So
about
like
that.
one-on-one doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Because when you're, an example, the super mutant master in attacking with somebody else on the charge has his skill die, 1 black die, 2 purple die because of the weapon.
Yeah.
He's also going to get the 1 black die for the charge, the 1 black die for being over strength 8, and then when you outnumber somebody, you'll get an additional bonus green die that can affect your roll as well.
Nice.
So this is where super mutants
Yeah.
work best, as opposed to like where our Brotherhood guys are more of our shooting faction
Yeah.
in this demo.
And
So you wanna close him off.
So this blocks line of sight. So he's kind of. He would have to position himself
Correct.
to get a shot on.
He does block line of sight, yeah. He does also have 9 endurance though, so
Yeah.
you can take some damage.
Right. Yeah. So he's the green marker for charge.
For charge, yep, and
So
yellow
if I
is for his
move-
movement.
Yeah, so let's see. So I can't quite get there with just the charge. But if I did both actions,
Yep.
oops, he would get in range, but
He
then
would
he'd be out of turn.
Correct. He wouldn't be able to attack this turn. But it's also important to remember that on our next round,
Yeah.
whoever has the least amount of figures on the table gets to choose who goes first.
Ah.
So that's also a strategy you can play off where
I like that.
you won't get to attack this turn, but you will get to pick who goes first
Yeah.
next.
All right. So I think I'll be okay with that. So if I
You're
move, so I go
charging.
base to base, move, and then I do a charge. Is that correct?
Correct.
So then I get a little bit extra distance out of that. So
So like if you hand me the Deathclaw, just hand me the Deathclaw model real quick. So like because the base is bigger here,
he moves a little bit.
he gets that little bit extra. So his charge is if as an example, his charge was also green, he would actually get a longer charge range because the length of his base is bigger.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. So I will finish the charge and end his turn for now.
All right, and then I get to activate. So is there any? Can I still shoot when someone's in melee? Is there any downsides to that? Okay. So I'm not. And can I move out of melee with him?
You can as a free strike. If you shoot at somebody with a rifle, in melee, it is a -2 modifier to hit. So like your perception would essentially go down to a 3.
Okay.
And then it is -1 from the base damage of the rifle.
Nice.
Or of the weapon.
So do I? I don't have a melee weapon.
You don't. If you do not have a melee weapon, you still get your normal skill die to attack, but your damage for it is 1, and there is no bonuses unless you are also over the strength 8 because of power armor. Then that gives you the 1 bonus black die.
So you could punch, but there's no real advantage.
All right.
to doing it.
So when I go to, so if I move, you said he gets a free strike.
He does.
If I do try to break base contact
Correct.
with him.
And he charged, so he'll get his bonus because his next action is that attack. So he'll still get his bonus for attack.
I'll just activate. I'll activate this dude to shoot because he's.
Is there any difference because like any downside to him being engaged with an ally?
In my demo rules, we don't. I'm not sure if that's entirely what the rulebook's going to say, but currently we do not have it in my demo rules.
He's got a laser rifle and it's black range. Is this the one?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got it.
I think you're fine.
All right, so I'll shoot. I'll just have this guy fire immediately.
All right.
He's got any. Does facing matter?
It is a 360 facing.
Okay.
Line of sight is any part of the base to any part of the base.
Cool.
And line of sight to see if it's passing through cover or terrain or any kind of blocking items is center of base to center of base.
Okay.
So you draw an imaginary line, and if that line crosses through anything, it becomes harder to hit.
Okay. So to roll for the laser rifle, I've got the skill die always, and is it black, green, and purple?
Correct.
As well? Okay, so I'll grab these here. And then I'm hoping for some crits. Oh. Did I roll the right one?
It is a black, green, and a purple.
Oh, so I have another one I didn't
Yep.
roll? All right. Bring it. Cool, I got a hit.
All right, so you rolled a 5. The -1 comes off the roll, so you got a 4.
Got a 4.
You got 1 extra damage, and you got 2 Nuka bottles that you can use to pay for your abilities. So you can do 1 damage ignores his armor.
You can only do that one time, not twice, because he has to. Or
Yeah.
Is this needs the star, right, to spend the extra, that one there?
No, because it only requires
top
a Nuka
one.
bottle.
Okay, got it.
This one requires 2 Nuka bottles and then 1 of anything else.
Got it, okay, cool. So I'll do 1 damage will ignore armor, so I'm hitting you with, this does...
2 goes to a 3. You still get an armor save.
Yep.
Yep.
So he's got a higher armor. So
He
he's got
does
3.
master. Well, it's energy damage.
Oh, it's energy. Okay.
So you're gonna have your 2,
Okay.
and you ignore. Yep, you missed it.
Okay.
So you're gonna be taking the 2. The plus 1 goes to the 3.
And then the extra activation as well. So that would be 4 damage because the Nuka bottle did 1.
One of those damage ignores the armor.
So if you would have
okay.
rolled 2 armor,
Yep.
one of them would have still gone
okay.
through.
Sorry, I
so.
couldn't see from over here.
So
okay.
activating again, just real quick, I'll shoot again with 2 actions, just play them out here. So we got
So we're gonna
a crit. All
crit
right.
it. So you move over to the crit side.
4 damage.
So damage goes up to a 4.
Now
There
this
is no-
means you like this is no longer applying because this is hitting.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
It's a whole new side of the weapon
Yep.
now that you crit. Okay.
So one of the armor is broken. So your armor for energy would go down to a 2.
Okay.
Doing 4 damage. I'm sorry, go down to
Go
a
down
1.
to a 1, yeah, from 2. So
Looking for ones?
4 damage.
Looking for ones?
Hopefully I don't die. Come on.
So
All right.
3.
It's alright.
All right, so
Still barely alive. So I will activate first on the next round, you said, correct?
Yep, you get to choose because whoever has less models on the table is choosing what order, or choosing who activates first.
You got that.
So yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll just charge in there, and extra range. So
All right.
be nice and ready for you next turn. You're
Yeah. He's probably gonna be fine.
yeah.
So is everybody activated?
That's everybody.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, I haven't gone here actually. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
sorry.
gonna
Yeah.
Do a quick turn with her. I'm pretty
So-
much just gonna fire, and it's gonna be sort of a limited shot, right? So
minus
it's
2.
Yep.
Or,
still blue, green, and white, or and black, right? All these.
Yep.
Yep.
This is so. The best way to look at this is when you're rolling any kind of action besides your armor save, you're always going to be rolling the skill die.
Okay.
I haven't found anything that says that doesn't make you roll this.
Yep.
So you have 2 dice that you will always roll one or the other, and then these ones are just additional modifier dice.
Cool.
So what I'm gonna roll this, and then we can talk about what I'm getting
Yep.
for minuses on this
Oh.
one.
That's new facing.
It is. So we have So this one is an automatic fail. This one gives you an additional quick action, so you can do another one. This is your -2. This gives +1 damage, which we talked about, and this is just a nuke bottle. But this is a failure.
Totally
So
failed
it
that shot. So just
automatic
pick up and roll
fails.
again.
Yep.
But she gets another action out of that too?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Here's another action. Shooting
right.
again.
So you
Shooting
got
at
an
this
8.
model. How about that? I'll shoot at the big guy, right?
So you rolled an 8. You have a -1 that goes to a 7. Because you are in melee range, it requires it's a 2 penalty.
Yep.
So your perception goes down to a 3. So you're actually looking for a 3 or less.
Yeah.
unlikely.
Did not get that. So I totally failed that one
That
again,
one's
and I
it.
got one more
You got
shot.
one
I'll
more.
go for it again. A last desperate attempt before that guy gets clubbed
Oh,
to
you're
death.
close.
So I got a 4 minus another 1, so I'm 1 off away. So I failed that.
Yeah,
too.
4. Yep. 4.
5 minus 1, yeah.
And then you're looking for the 3. You're still not. Yeah, shooting in close combat is not easy, but
Cool. All right.
Cool.
So that's all the models.
that's that.
So now we go round 2 where I clobber you.
Yep.
Yes.
You choose what you're activating. Right.
Yeah. So we'll just.
Who do you want to charge? So he
He charged. They both
alright.
charged last time.
Oh,
Does that
this will
carry
be
over?
great.
That carries
Yep,
over.
it
to the
does.
next round? Okay.
Your next activation.
So we'll just do a nice one-hit punch here and see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So white is the basic.
Yep.
I get a black and 2 purple,
Correct.
and then black for the charge.
Black for the charge, and
And
plus
then-
1 black for being strength 8.
Oh, black, and then green.
Green for outnumbering.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good set.
That's a pretty good hit.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can one-shot.
So that's your big dude?
I'm using
Yeah, because
the-
this guy has the 3 damage. This one has no damage.
I'm using the huge club.
All right.
All right. So, got all sorts of symbols here. Not much damage though.
Not much damage. Not much additional damage.
Bummer.
That's only one action, though, right? You
Yeah.
can just do it twice.
It's true.
And the only bonus you won't get is the charge bonus because you already used it.
Okay.
So you have a 5. So it's a melee weapon.
Yep.
So you're finding your melee stat. You're looking
Strength 9.
under, equal to or under the stat, which is a 9.
He's pretty good swinging stuff.
So your
like
5's got it.
Okay.
You don't have any kind of additional bonus damage. There's no shield breaks.
Yeah.
The weapon does two base damage. So you're gonna go ahead and make your armor on it.
Physical damage, obviously.
Physical, 2 or under. 3, so it's failed. So it takes its 2 damage from the club because you didn't get any bonuses. But what's neat about this is the huge club has this ability to push back. So for 1 nuka bottle, he can push you back. I'm not recommending that.
Yeah.
Not smart. But
Yeah.
just as an example,
Yeah.
he can push you back
Nice.
1 orange.
Nice.
Because right next to the pushback, it's got a circle, and the circle's orange, so you can use the
Cool.
orange token.
Cool. But I'll leave him just in melee range.
Yeah,
so I
you
can
don't wanna push him
clobber him
away.
again.
So I got 2 for this character. Yeah, she's out of a total of 5. You're gonna murder.
So that was my first attack. I'll go with round 2.
Minus 1 black.
1 less black. I already took that out. So, and see if we can get a better roll this time. A little bit better.
That's a lot better.
Wow.
So 4 is a success.
I got.
You have a nuka bottle and a star,
so I
and you're
can
going to be
stun.
doing 3 additional damage.
That's better.
So let's do the damage first. So it's physical damage plus 3 is 5. Your physical armor is a 2.
So go ahead and give it a roll.
Go ahead and roll.
So you
1.
block
So you do stop 1, so we'll just take that off to remember right now.
Yep.
So you're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4.
on top of 2.
Top of the 2, which puts you at 6.
She's only got 5
Your endurance is only 5, so this character is gone.
All right.
Cool.
You did roll a
Yeah.
stun, so you can pay for the stun, because it requires 1 star, 1 of anything else.
Yep. So what does that do normally?
What that stun does is, for now, we'll just use this gray token. You would have
if
put
he was alive, yeah.
he wasn't splattered on the floor. You put this gray token on there. Next turn, it takes one of his activation or one of his actions to clear
Oh,
it,
okay,
so it
cool.
limits what he can do.
50% of the turn. Cool.
So yeah, I think we got a pretty good idea of it. Do you want to? Can you tell us a little bit more about like maybe some of the terrain, like what you're hoping to do? Like I know you mentioned different modes.
Yeah. So when you get the starter game, there are 4 game modes that are going to be coming in it. You have your single player or your multiplayer head-to-head,
Yep.
where it's 1 person versus 1 person, and you just use your basic stuff. There is no like increase in stats. You're getting your single player, so you can literally play at your home by yourself in a
Oh,
rainstorm when no one's there. If you're bored and you feel like testing new builds out, you can do that. There's co-op, where it's the single player style, but you're playing on a team with people.
Nice.
Then there's a campaign system to where you can get increase in stats, and that's where you do all your searching through Nuka-Cola machines and digging into safes and doing all that fun stuff that you do in the video game.
Cool.
The starter set tentatively is going to be coming with, from what I've heard, this is subject to change, are the survivors from the beginning of the Fallout 4 game, like some of them, and then some super mutants, and then each of the terrain item that you'd seen out here would be available as a separate thing. So this is a cardstock terrain from the company Battle Systems is going to be producing it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It'll be on a little thicker card. This is just the production, the pre-production test for them to see how it worked.
Yep.
And it will be coming with the resin accessories. So the rocket's made out of resin, and it fits on top of here. It's just been punched over and over and over again doing demos.
Yeah.
So the Nuka-Cola machines, all the gas pumps, and if you look at the inside, which most people don't, if you peek on the inside of this, it actually is decorated, and it gives you, it's got the power armor rack to go in there.
That's cool.
So when you're doing your single player campaign, you can really get into it.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Nice.
The
So
models do fit in.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice. So you and the starter set. What is this? I'm sorry, you might have mentioned this. The starter set contents. Is it like a couple of factions? Is like how does that?
It's from what like I said, tentatively, it's just what I've been told. What has been being discussed. There's survivors and super mutants are will be the factions that are in there. Then each additional thing after that will be like a smaller box with 3 figures in it. So for Institute, you'll have like a couple of synths and some Institute scientists or something along those lines. And each
mat come with it? Is there other mats?
There is a mat in the starter set. It is not this one.
Okay. But it's just one basic mat.
Yep, and then they'll be releasing more, so you'll have like your downtown Boston look and whatnot. I can only assume.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, it looks really solid. Thanks for showing us. I appreciate it.
Playing.
Thanks.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so that was Fallout Wasteland Warfare, and we got a chance to play a couple of rounds or a couple of turns.
Yeah. Just enough to get a feel of it.
We've been trying to cheat for a couple of days. The booth that they have here, they have like one demo copy that's been really, really busy. So we've been kind of coming back and checking, looking for an open spot because it looked interesting to us. And my first impression, I'll go first, I guess. I think it looks pretty cool, and I mean, things are still pretty early. The cards are a little bit early in terms of like graphic design and art and stuff. There's like almost nothing on them, but in terms of mechanical systems and stuff, it feels pretty good. It feels like the weapon system is neat, the critting system is neat.
Yeah, I like having like the equipment is cool. It's separate. Doesn't matter who the equipment goes to. It's got its own stats. And yeah, critting is cool. Like you switch over to an entirely different, damage and model for the damage for when you crit instead of doing normal hit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and didn't he say there's a way to like build up? You can build up a crit like.
Yeah. So like each time you use a weapon, I think. After you, like if you don't crit X number of times, you guarantee a crit on your next attack.
Like you can save up the tokens and like end up landing a crit, which is neat. It's kind of
we didn't run into that, but it looks like it's a good way to do it because critting it looked like a pretty fully fleshed out thing, and it seems like you could add some extra strategy too. If you know you guarantee your crit is coming up, you can be like, oh, I need to crit this guy and make sure he gets taken out. So
also speaking of the same thing, the activation system seemed neat where. The fact that you can just take a whole turn doing nothing, just be like, I'm readying this guy, I'm readying this guy, especially your super mutants.
Right.
Just to like ready a bunch of guys and then just go whoosh, and swarm in all at once and do like a massive hit.
Yeah,
that is a really interesting thing. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's a cool extra like risk reward mechanic. You sit there and do nothing, so if you get taken out, you wasted that turn. But if you survive and they don't manage to kill you, you can now activate with 2, 3, however many units you have. So it's like forcing squads or like on the fly squad unit.
That's neat. I like that. As far as measuring and stuff, it's got like the color template, seems pretty straightforward there, like nothing too complicated. The movement system seems pretty straightforward.
It's cool though, the weapons have like, they do X if short range and Y at a longer range, so it's kind of cool.
No questions about that, pre-measuring. I like the alternating activations, that's cool. Being able to sort of, like we kind of talked about that with the readying thing, but like alternating activations is a little bit of a different style than a lot of miniatures games have. Like I know Warhammer is really big, and it's a full team. Like all your guys go, and then the other guys, all their guys go. So the alternating activation is something that I haven't personally played with before, so I'm excited to try that out.
It's cool you can adapt on the fly, so if you had a plan in mind, but they do something different, you can change your plan.
And I actually was really surprised. I looked into this game a little bit, but seeing the starter box having multiple ways to play, a co-op way to play, a campaign way to play, and like that gets me really excited because I like to play the competitive miniature stuff, but having more options to make it more of a story thing with campaign and like searching Nuka-Cola machines for stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That sounds really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have a ton of the components and stuff there, but yeah, it seems like there could be a lot going on there and a lot more in depth.
They're shooting for like I think December was the rough time that they had mentioned as sort of like a release for it.
Still a lot up in the air, but it's still pretty cool looking.
Gonna keep our eyes on that for sure. Looks really cool.